and welcome to Unitrader. Hope you're all doing well. Today we will start a massive series on harmonic patterns. Part 1, Harmonic Patterns by Unitrader. So without further ado, let's get into it because this is going to be a lengthy series. What is a harmonic pattern? A specific structure that possesses distinct and consecutive Fibonacci ratio alignments that quantify and validate a harmonic pattern. This is the definition of Scott M. Carney in his book Harmonic Trading Volume 1. So basically we're looking at geometric shapes to try to find potential trades. So in this course we will be looking to identify and chart harmonic patterns. We're also going to look to identify high probability entries using PRZ or potential reversal zones. We will be looking at how to execute trade entries and also how to manage trades. All of this coming from the information that we glean from our harmonic patterns. So there's quite a few different harmonic patterns. In this series we'll be looking at the AB equals CD pattern, the bat harmonic, the Gartley harmonic, the butterfly harmonic, the cipher, and the shark. Now these all do happen in Bitcoin. We'll see them quite a bit. The AB equals CD pattern is a very important pattern because it has to be inside of these other patterns. Okay? Some people will argue that, but by definition, they have to be in the other patterns. So how is this possible? Well, the ABC equals CD harmonic. Well, I keep saying the ABC. AB equals CD harmonic is a 4-point price structure pattern. All the other ones are 5 points. So that's how we'll be fitting this into all our other patterns. And once again, it is the basis for all other harmonic patterns. And it is characterized by an initial impulse price segment, which is then partially retraced and is followed by an equidistant move from the completion of the pullback. So what does that look like? Well, let's hit the charts and see what we're looking at. Okay, so here we are on the Bitcoin chart, but I've hidden the price action for now because we're going to just look at what the shapes are and how we really look to chart them out. So what we're going to do here is we're going to come to the left side and we're going to come to our there are patterns. So you'll notice there's a couple of different ones here. We've got the XABCD pattern, which is the one we're most generally going to use. You've got the cipher pattern, which is specific to the cipher. And we have the ABCD pattern here. So this is our AB equals CD pattern. And what you do is you will find a low, then you will find the high, then there will be a pullback, then there will be an equidistant move up. So what we're looking for here is to enter, in this case this would be a a short position we're looking for at the D point. So this would be considered a bearish AB equals CD harmonic. And likewise, it would be the same to the downside. So we get an initial impulse move down. We should get a retracement that lines up with a Fibonacci level. Let me just turn my magnet off here. So could be the 0.5. The 0.5 makes it very simple. And then we'll get an equidistant move down. So once we hit this D, we would be looking then for any long opportunities. Now in Bitcoin, let me just open up the price action here. In Bitcoin, I personally don't find the AB equals CD pattern hugely useful. I do, however, love Gartley's, butterflies, bats. Bat would be my favorite. But we do need to understand this ABCD pattern because it is the basis of the other ones, or at least has to be inside of them. So here we are on the 15-minute chart. And what you would want to do is, again, let's just chart this out. This isn't going to be a valid pattern. However, this is what we would look for. We're going to take a low. We'll take a high, come back to the next low, and then go back to the next high. So you see this is a very ugly pattern, but nonetheless, this is what we're going to be doing. So for a bullish, you would start from a high to a low, from the next high, and then to the next low. And this one actually starts looking a little more symmetrical. You see we have a retracement here to the 762, which gives us a projection of an entry point here of about 1.49. So that is almost equidistant in terms of the moves, okay? So you can use trend lines for this as well. You start your trend lines. Let me just get into settings here, turn off extend. And if you take this and drop it over here, it should be relatively the same distance, okay? And you see that that's actually not a bad A, B equals CD pattern. So in terms of entries, you know, how do we define what a good entry zone is? And this is where it gets complicated, especially for the A, B equals CD pattern, because we now have to look at things called reciprocal ratios. And these I have found, it's a little bit sketchy, the info you find online, but pretty much we're going to be using Fibonacci's retracements and extensions to try to find out where is a good place to put this. Okay, so again, 4-point structure pattern, the basis for all of our harmonics, which we'll get into later. And again, that initial impulse, then price partially declines, retraces to a fib level, and then is followed by an equidistant move. Now these reciprocal ratios, and I apologize guys, this is where it gets really wordy, and I'm not going to lie, a little bit complicated. However, it's pretty simple. Once you understand what's going on, it's actually not that difficult at all. So once a Fibonacci level is hit on a retracement, and the price reverses, generally it will create a specific reciprocal ratio. So on the ABCD pattern, there is a lot of reciprocal ratios. So these are used to identify entry levels, and more importantly, gives us hard rules for the entry of a position, okay? So as the ABCD harmonic is a 4-point shape, the reciprocal ratio is calculated using the C-point retracement of the initial AB leg of the move. So we're going to use the BC leg to get our reciprocal ratio. Now these are specific, obviously, so get ready to take some notes, guys. Here are our AB equals CD reciprocal ratios. Now I will put all of this on our Discord server, cheat sheets galore. If you don't want to take notes, that's fine. So this is very, very important for risk management. And this is one of the things that I don't see much online talked about, are these reciprocal ratios. So in the hard and fast rules of Scott Carney, he will not enter a trade without all of these levels being hit, okay? So we are going to just do one example, but it's exactly the same for every single one of these moves, okay? But you see these projection numbers. This is what we're going to use to create Fibonacci templates for our specific harmonic patterns, okay? So let's hit back to the charts and see exactly what I'm talking about. I'm first just going to pull a simple fib here for us to get an idea. Of price action. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Let's pretend here we have a move from a low, bounces around. Oops. Okay, then we're going to come down and we're going to retrace to the 382. Okay, so this is what our price action looks like. So once you get these retracements, start pulling fibs right away, because you're going to find either certain support levels with this, or you might find the potential for a harmonic pattern. In this case, obviously, we did this by design, but this is what we're going to look for, is a 382, and right away we're thinking, okay, there's a couple of potentials here for harmonic patterns. In the case of the AB equals CD, this is going to be, well, I'll just place this on here so we start to get an idea of what we're looking at here. So A to the high is going to be our B point, and then this will be our C point. Okay, so we're going to be looking for an equidistant point up here, and I'm going to give you other cheat sheets too that are going to help with this, but for now we're just going to place this 3, 8. I mean, it can really go almost anywhere because this is quite, it's not 100% an equidistant move, right? It doesn't have to be. But what we would do here is get ourselves a trend line, start here at A, take it up to B, and then we're going to grab this trend line and we're going to move it, and we're going to place it at the bottom of C, and this is going to be our equidistant projection. Okay, let me just shorten this up. All right, now obviously this price had to have started moving for us to be able to retrace here, so let's just say, you know, we're looking a little bit like so, something like that. Now, the reciprocal ratio for a 382 retracement would be the 2.618. So we are going to pull this fib from the B leg, sorry, the end of the A leg, or the B to the C leg. There you go. Now, open up your ABCD template. The ABC template, like I said, it's going to have all of those reciprocal ratios. So you see here we've got the 1.13, the 1.27, the 1.41, the 1.618, the 2, and the 2.618. On very rare occasions, this will go to the 3.618, but very rare, very rare. So what we see here is that this ratio is lining up very nicely, the 2.618, with this terminal point of our projected trend line here. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be the 2.618, but this is the reciprocal ratio. But what we're going to do is we're going to pick the closest fib level here that comes to our projection here. So we've got the 2 down here, the 2.618 is much closer. So what I'm going to do is two things. I'm going to come to my trend line tools, grab a horizontal ray, and I'm going to put it on top of this 2.618 level, which is at 43,643. So I'm just going to mark that coordinate down. 43,643. Okay, and I don't want a green. I want it to be relatively yellow since it is a 618. Okay, and now I'm just going to close this fib out, and I'm going to do the exact same thing with the terminal here of my initial projection I did with my trend line. So we can label these as well if you want to keep it clear. So this the top one, I will add some text. I also want my text to be yellow, and it's the 2.618. That's looking a little bit sketchy, so they're very close, so I'm going to change my text alignment to the top. Okay, and the bottom I'm going to label the AB equals CD. Okay, and I can also change this color here actually, so that I don't have two yellow lines confusing me. So now I know that this is the potential reversal zone. Well, I don't know that, but that is the theory. Okay. Now, what Scott Carney illustrates in his book is that this PRZ zone is an essential part of your entry. So how to manage the entry. What you need to see happen here is price action is going to have to keep coming up. Oh, that one went backwards. Wow. And you might get a test of this first level and it'll come down, but you don't buy yet. You need price to come through both of these levels. And once it has hit this zone and cleared it, then we are going to watch for price action. So you can do that either using candles, get your candlestick game going, understand, sort of rounding tops or maybe a swing failure pattern, or if, if you've got order flow software, that's the best. Look at some order flow and figure out whether this move is losing strength and looks like it's going to turn around. See if new longs are opening, that sort of stuff, right? However, we're just talking about free tools. So really, we're just going to be looking at price action and hope that this move comes back down. But sometimes this stuff is pure fake out too. So you can get a little brief consolidation here and then the move just keeps going up, which oftentimes is actually a great long entry. But we are looking for shorts here, as this is a bullish pattern, okay? So that is the importance of this zone. Really helps us understand when to get into a trade, when it's completely invalidated, and we'll look into that more. Now, because, again, the ABCD is only a 4-point tool, we would only have this one reciprocal ratio that we're looking at here. That's it. So we have two lines or two levels that make up our zone. In the other harmonics, as they're 5-part or 5-point tools, 5-point patterns, we will be using 3 different zones. So a little more complex in terms of pulling fibs. However, the reciprocal levels are generally a little more rigid. Like you'll notice that we had a lot of reciprocal levels for the AB equals CD. The other patterns do not have so many reciprocals. So having said that, we are going to be looking at exactly the same thing. Let me just clear all this stuff out here. For a short position, or a long position, it would be the exact same scenario, only backwards. And depending again on the fib pull that you get, and it can be anywhere from a 382 all the way to the 886, then your reciprocals will change. But it's done the exact same way. You pull your fibs to find the reciprocal from the BC leg, okay? And that is about it. So, again, look for shorts at the D, or look for longs at the D. But we want confirmation using the PRZ. On top of that, this is not, a guaranteed thing. There's no guarantees in this game. This market is ruthless. And if everybody's looking at, let's say, a butterfly harmonic, then everybody knows it's there. Every good trader sees it right away. So are we going to wreck retail guys? Are we going to wreck noobs? What's going on? So again, we're looking for confluence here, right? So this is where we would open up our chart and we would, get our levels, get your naked points of control, your supply and demand zones, look for channels, look for any other supporting thing or supporting factor, that gives credence to this, okay? With the reciprocal, the reciprocal is basically giving you one extra layer of confluence, but you still want something. Like hopefully this will come down onto a daily level in a golden pocket of a 4-hour chart, right? So we're just looking at this on the 15-hour chart or the 15-minute chart. It's not hugely relevant. So we build our case. What other relevant things can we find at this projected D level? Yeah. So that is the ABCD pattern in a nutshell. Now, once you confirm that this is going to reverse, some people might use market structure, some people will use order flow. So in terms of market structure, let's just say, we were meandering along. Hey, what happened there? Meandering along. Our B, there's our C. Yeah, that's looking relatively silly. Okay, hold on a second. This whole line is out of whack. Let me just do this simply. Okay, so we come down, hit our B, we have our retracement, and then we're going down to the D. So to look for an entry, of course, we need all this confirmation, okay? For stop losses, what happens is we are going to put our stop loss below the potential reversal zone and look for any other market structure that might be behind us to help us find a really ideal level to place a stop. In terms of projections, what I like to do is I will mark out my C level, and that C point is going to be a big take profit for me. If I don't have much confidence in the move and the market's looking a bit unsure, what I will do is take out profit quickly. So I'll hit the B point and I will snatch up some profit. Not much, I just want to make sure that I'm covered. So I'll take out some profits and then move my stop loss up to break even. And once I hit the C, then I'll take out 50% of my profits, okay? Not 50% of my profit, 50% of my position, and hope the rest of it will ride. But generally, you're not expecting it to take the A. But many times, these initial entries that you think are going to be just a scalp turn into swing trades that last a couple of months. So let it run a little bit, take out good profits, but also let some run, because your winners that run for months will make you incredible gains, even if the position is a lot smaller than it initially was. So that is it for the AB equals CD pattern. We're going to talk a lot more in depth about risk management, stop losses, projections, and take profit targets with the other harmonics as they are more relevant in Bitcoin. So I hope this was informative. I hope there wasn't too much to take in. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below or join our Discord, which is going to be in the description down below as well. And other than that, I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you very shortly for part 2, where we will get into the bat and hopefully the Gartley. Thank you, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.